Unleashing the power of AI to help with remodeling. Isn't that exciting? An exciting topic to cover today is we did a live together last week. I had Dennis Walsh with me, and I'll do an intro. Don't worry, won't leave you hanging who this guy is or who I am. But we did a live together last week, and we showed a cool tool for AI that helps visualize in the design process. And we got a great reaction. We tacked it on at the end just for fun, and people were excited. So we're starting out with that this time. We're going to talk more about AI and what can happen with remodeling. So, hey there, Christian Walsh. I am a real estate agent with Wire Associates, been helping buyers and sellers make the best data-driven decisions. I'm a real estate broker of 16 years. I remember that because I just had to renew my license, did it again. And then we have Dennis Walsh, who he's been in the business many, many decades. We won't say exactly how many, but a long time. And he has been a custom home builder, remodeler, had a panelized home factory, real estate educator now for, 30 years.
35.
And
35.
he's a cool dude and happens to be my dad. So,
well, that's a wonderful introduction. Thanks so much. Yeah, I have to say that countdown at the beginning,
isn't that dramatic?
I couldn't wait. I couldn't wait to see what was coming.
And then it turns out it's us.
But no, that's cool. So how are you, man?
Good. I'm excited to dive into AI. And we have a lot to cover on this topic. Some housekeeping first. We have Michelle in the background. She is helping out, making sure any of the comments are being moderated. So keep it clean. And she's back there to help us out. So we appreciate her help. And speaking of comments, make sure you leave those on wherever you're watching this. You can be watching this on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, on our website, and leave comments, and it will come up. We'll be able to pull it up. In fact, we've got our buddy All Nighter, and he already has a comment. Look at that team of handsomeness. All Nighter, you're going to have to adjust your resolution on your monitor.
you must have the wrong screen up right now, my friend.
No, I appreciate that. So All Nighter has been one of our a fan of our channel, and I'm a fan of his channel. He's got a channel as well. He was off for like a month. He was off fishing and caught a bunch of salmon and brought some home for us. I told him it's very nice, but he doesn't need to bother sending us. He's the one who did all the hard work, so he's the one who should get to eat them. So anyway, so let's dive in. Without further ado, let's pull up the cool AI tool. And you'll hear me refer to my dad as Papa Den. That's his nickname from the grandkids. So my four kids.
By the grandkids, and I love it. Of course, it's quickly, or I guess you should say slowly, becoming PD.
PD, yeah. Liam calls him PD.
As if that's really any easier to say than Papa Den.
Yeah. So PD, this tool here it's in beta. It's someone that you've been helping them fine tune this tool.
Right.
And it helps with picturing design ideas. So go ahead and let's get started and show us how cool this thing is.
Way cool. So my buddy Sabrau, we're working together to bring this across the real estate industry right now, focusing on this. And Christian, as you know, way back when, many, many years ago in the building business, I was one of the first builders to be computerized, and I laugh now what that meant way back in the day. Right?
So true.
A little compact computer and a dot matrix printer jumping around in the office. It was really a glorified calculator. But
didn't you got one of those? You got a printer, if I remember correctly. It had like 4 pens on it, and it drew things. Is that right?
I invested, and this was back in the 80s. Back in the 80s, I invested probably close to $50,000. That was some real money back then.
Yeah.
On a computerized system for architectural drafting and so on. And there was a huge printer, and they still have those printers today, large format printers, they call them. And this had multiple color pens is how they set it up instead of ink, little ink pods. And that, of course, was hooked up. And so as we created our blueprints, had different colors, it would print on there and print these big things. And that was for the panelizing operation, where we were taking blueprints, breaking them down into wall panel sections, trusses, components, and then using the computer. And sadly, it turned out that it was a great selling tool. People said, "My gosh, look at this computerized system." But honestly, back then we were still never really able to do it much more quickly, if at all.
Didn't help.
Really by hand.
Not like AI. Like you, so why don't you get one going here so you can
Yeah.
show
So
us
the
how
world,
quickly you can
yeah,
remodel a
yeah. So the
home?
world has changed. I used to dream of this sort of thing. Here's one. I don't know if we fooled with this last time, but I love this one because it's such a dramatic
We did. This was cool.
example. Yeah. So what you're doing is you're going over here on the left. So I've uploaded a photo. You can take any photo, take photos of your own home, rooms, interior, exterior, and so on. You go through here, and I'm getting to the section where outdoor. Okay, so exterior. I'm going to take exterior house architecture. What you'll find, it'll also do landscaping and so on. This AI engine is very creative. And then we pick a style. And so one of the styles we did last time I thought came out really nice. Well, we did Tudor. That was kind of cool.
Tudor.
Tudor. So
I
let's
don't
just
know if this
but
Tudor is not so big in Southern
no,
California,
you wouldn't
but
think, but what came up was pretty cool. But you're right, just kind of an odd style. We'll take some other ones here. Generally, I timing this, it generally takes about 10 to 15 seconds. Now, for some reason, depending on the nature and the lines and the angles, sometimes AI gets a little confused, but look at that.
actually that's so that is actually Craftsman technically. That's not
That's
Tudor.
that's what
But
I think too. It would at most it's a California take
yeah.
on maybe some Tudor elements, right? With the
Look at
stone.
I like that second one. You got to do some serious grading to go ahead and put put some
Oh my
massive
gosh.
hills in the
Yeah, like completely blocking, covering the neighbors' homes with hedges, right? But that's the thing. So AI gets, and look at the original picture. There's no big, huge evergreen trees on the back.
No, this is spectacular.
So AI gets kind of crazy and so on. But the reality is, if you focus on the basic home itself and the look that's been created here,
Yeah.
again, that little blue home all across from East Coast to West Coast, all across this country, you're going to find neighborhood after neighborhood with homes like that. That could be great homes for people to raise families, homes for retirees. And for many people, the idea they look at that home, they just can't visualize. They could never get excited about it, right?
Yeah.
And so here we have a tool where we can just get a sense of what they like, but also I think more importantly realize that with some simple changes, and certainly there's an investment here. But my gosh, Christian, it goes back, and I'll let you elaborate on this. The whole concept of wholesale retail, right? And I'll
Yeah.
scroll through and do some more while you're kind of sharing that.
Yeah, switch up the style. So the concept of wholesale versus retail is when you're selling a home, you can do it either way. And wholesale would be where you basically give it at a discount for whatever reason. So iBuyers are buying homes wholesale. They're buying them off market, not much competition. They come in and then they do some work and then they flip it and put it on the market. In some cases, they make money. In some cases, they don't. So that's wholesaling a home, selling it as is, and having a limited audience. And then the retail concept is where you have a huge audience, a bunch of buyers competing, and you want to get absolute top dollar. And that may involve some remodeling as well to get absolute top dollar. So to sell at retail, you may want to choose to do some of these upgrades and changes. And it is fascinating what you can do with that same style home, that same layout, the different looks you can have. And
Yeah,
while you're doing another one real fast, I wanted to bring up another comment here. So this is from Mike Michi. He's a gentleman I refer a lot of loan business. They're using AI for their loan business for many different reasons, many different ways. So to be curious, we'll have to have Mike on to discuss how AI is starting to transform the
right.
rest of real estate from more than just design, but into financing. I know as agents, we use it for marketing as well. And we'll talk about that later. What's going on with that tree there?
Yeah, see, that's the crazy stuff. And again, it's this particular image here that takes that kind of a garage area next door. Here, this one looks like it's a little more accurate,
Yeah.
but it completely eliminated the neighbors. They wanted a larger yard, it appears. But again, it's just such an amazing tool. And what I love about this is we know we have a shortage of inventory, and we are going to have a shortage of inventory for many years to come. You look at the numbers, the fact again that the builders stopped building almost completely during the Great Recession. And then it took quite some time to gear up, and material availability and all that sort of thing. There was a shortage of labor that the builders have been challenged with. So production is up, but production is barely keeping up on new housing with household formation, right? We've talked about that before. So how are we going to catch up on this backlog? Well, part of it is builders again producing. We've got more factory built housing coming about. We can talk about that. But the other part of it is taking older housing stock that's being ignored, right? And this is a good example, this little blue house. It's funny, we looked at that original photo and it's like, this thing is wired up to another galaxy. Look at
Yeah, I know. So
I don't know what's going
time to
on there.
bury some power lines there.
But,
Yeah,
the challenge is people visualizing, right? And I've my entire life as a designer, a builder, real estate sales, and so on, having people visualize how this particular property could become their home. And many people can't see beyond, the color of the carpeting and the color of the walls, right?
Yeah, that's the wholesale concept. So if you don't do it, they're going to do it. Yeah. Do you have some interiors we can see as well?
Take an interior here. What is this here? Here's something interesting. I don't know. All right. So here's again, think about how many homes like that, right? That looks like your great grandma and grandpa's
I know.
living room.
Is this what they would refer to as very traditional interior?
I don't know what the style of that would be. All right, so living room, family room, we select that. How about a modern? You want to turn this modern?
Yeah. Let's see what happens.
Let's see what happens. But here's the point now. Many of these kinds of homes are the homes that young people today, just starting their families, looking to get into home ownership, this might be more doable, right?
Wowee.
Right. Look at the difference.
Yeah, and I'm looking at it, and so they definitely changed out the glass in the front, so you can go with looks like a sliding door or large glass.
Mm-hmm.
That fireplace is still in the same spot.
Right.
And no, that's fascinating. Change up that wall where the fireplace is. Give it more of a statement there. Yeah,
Now,
and the bookshelves are still there. That's fast.
I'm sorry.
The bookshelves are still there too. I like this one because it's a dramatic makeover, but a lot of the elements are right there.
Yeah, it didn't dramatically change things. Now there's over here. This says beta. I don't know if you can see that on the screen.
Yeah, keep walls and windows intact.
Walls and windows intact. So what's happened in some cases, depending on the shape of the room, I did a few where all of a sudden there was just like something coming into the room, or they were changing the glass too much, right, beyond reality. And so that's just a new feature. I haven't fooled with it much. And as you can see, this one held everything intact pretty well.
Yeah, switch the style. Let's see.
What would you like to see? How about farmhouse? I always get a kick out of
it. Yeah. Farmhouses.
We'll see. Or there's English countryside chic. Let me try that one next.
What about, what's that? Grandma? There's a grandma one that everybody's been talking about.
A style?
Yeah, grandma chic or something like that. Wow, that's amazing.
Now look at that. This is very clean.
I like that.
This is a nice clean look, has a warm feeling. Look at the ceiling in here. That's a really nice feature. And look at a nice job it does it as far as the rug it shows on the floor there to tie in the style. Yeah, pretty crazy. I don't know what the heck that is over the fireplace.
I hope you don't have to water that. That would be.
Yeah. Now I've got an interesting one here. Let's take this, and it didn't do the greatest job when I tried it before, but I thought it was fun. Let me see, where are we here?
And while you're doing that, so AI is great for the obviously there's different stages in a remodel, and it's great for the planning and design stage, and it's fun, and I'm enjoying looking at these different ways of making changes. Wow.
So here's what I did now. I put in here bar.
So there is booze everywhere. Go back up to that top one.
I threw glasses in here. Tried to do some things around the fireplace. So I just did that for fun.
Go back up to the top one. I just want to see how much booze they have. Yeah, that's great. They are stocked.
Well, they loaded up here on the left, and
even on the fireplace itself, it looks like there's a bottle of something. I do not recommend below that, right on the fireplace. I don't recommend storing anything.
Yeah, for the warmest drinks in the house. I don't know. I thought that was interesting. So I'm going to get rid of bar. That's just So do you want to try any other looks at this point, or
no? Do you have any other interiors?
Yeah, yeah. Let's
Do
do.
well. Let's do one more interior. But yeah, the bigger point is so it's great for the design and uh, getting ideas and even some of the
Right.
planning. But then we got to get talk about budgeting,
I don't know
and
how this
then
all work. There's kind of
oh
an empty
wow,
room, right?
yeah,
That's a pretty nice space, but again, imagine people. It just looks cold, industrial. So we'll call this a living room, family room area.
yeah.
What style would you like here?
Well, I'm curious. I mean, that's about as contemporary as it gets.
Yeah,
It can go to contemporary. Let's
yeah,
see what it
that's a good
does
point. Yeah,
to
we'll
to
do
make it
that.
even more.
Another one this would obviously lend itself would be coastal. So I'll try that one
Yeah.
next. I think that's
And then
kind
I'm curious too. So the enter the color and pattern preferences, and then you said that you can actually, if you like an image, that you can continue to fine tune it as
of,
well.
yeah, yeah. Holy moly.
Something has changed there.
Yeah,
They
so it's
put
adding
us on the
glass
ground.
around here. Now I'm going to try that new keep the walls in windows intact kind of thing, but I just think we'll look through here. That's kind of crazy. So this is like a retro, right? A
Yeah,
retro contemporary. I think
yeah,
modern would be a different thing. So
yeah. You're right.
let me go to here. Oh, did you want to try? How about if we try coastal?
Yeah, I think it's gonna put us back on the ground. It doesn't like us up in the.
Yeah, let's try that. And I said keep walls and windows intact. So again, this is just a beta. They're just working on it, but it's just way cool. And we have the ability to go in and map floors, ceilings, and once you get a look you like, you can then use that as your original image. And
Yeah,
then you can continue to refine. And then don't forget, as we talked last time, there's a prompt area here. And that's the big thing now in AI. And I'd like to emphasize that. I've spent quite a bit of time with ChatGPT. I know many of you have. Subrao and I are working on some very cool tools. We have beautiful tool for creating MLS descriptions, tools for creating various graphics and so on. And one of
yeah.
the is
Look, it left the windows intact, so it left us on the
yeah,
20th floor. That's cool.
yeah, it looks like it did not change that. That's not what I was visualizing.
For coastal, no,
No, not at
no.
all.
That's all right. Let's try something else. But leaving the windows intact is good.
Yeah, let's
Um,
try. You wanted to try. Let's try modern and see
yeah,
if
I think that's a good
there is
call. We'll do that.
either of these and so on. But again, as we talked about the fact that my focus, and I know you're doing this in your business now, is we created our residential remodeling specialist course for the purpose of arming the agents with a real understanding of the whole remodeling process, the planning stages, how to choose the best contractors, how to support people through all kinds of guidance as to how people can make their best decisions. Real estate agents, great real estate agents, already have an understanding of value. They have an understanding of the desires of the market. So again, this is just a different look.
Yeah.
There's one more I'd like to try that's kind of what the heck was it called? It's a real clean organic. Oh, here, quiet luxury. How about we try that one?
There was shabby chic. No offense, but shabby chic is my least favorite of
Yeah,
design styles. I even less so than grandma chic. Make sure he adds in grandma chic.
yeah, Graham chic. But one of the things we're going to do too is we're going to have a gallery of each of the styles, so you can get a sense of that before
Yeah.
you dig through. But this is an awful lot of fun. People are having a lot of fun with it. But again, our residential remodeling specialists are out there and available to help you as a homeowner. Just give you some guidance, sort out. And one of the most important things we talked about is doing that, what we call our RVA, remodeling value analysis,
Yeah.
helping them determine how improvements they'd like to make is going to impact the value of their home. And this is important for sellers. It's important for buyers. It's important for investors. And this is one of the tools that the design component of the process is where the whole project can just stop dead. People
Yeah.
don't know what they want. They don't know what they dislike. So, well, these are not coming up with things I think that personally I
That's
like.
fair.
This here's nice and clean.
Yeah, that's nice. That chandelier is quite a statement,
Yeah,
but
that's maybe a bit.
I don't know if that's for me.
That's-
But no, so and I agree with you. So now we have some ideas, and if we remember back to the house you showed in the beginning, the
yes,
exterior. So AI is great for coming up with design ideas. So let's talk about next the budget, because
yeah,
it's AI, at least right now, these tools and this tool here, it's not like you can type in there, okay, $1 million or less, what can I do for this house? So it's up to us as residential remodeling specialists and investors to figure out, okay, what's the budget and what do we, how much are we going to spend if we do this? So
Exactly.
you've got a cool tool. Let's bring that up real fast.
Yeah, and I mean, literally this week, we finally got the last odds and ends. We've had developers working on this for quite some time. And this, again, has been a dream of mine. There's all kinds of different remodeling cost estimators, remodeling cost guides that are available online. And many of them give you just a real broad range. It really isn't targeted geographically. We worked for a while with a company that was supposedly building a really accurate estimator. And the estimator was not only going to estimate the cost of remodeling, but also the impact it was going to have on the market value of the home.
Yeah.
3 years that process was underway, never really came together, never really near any accuracy. And we can talk about the detailed specifics of why there, if you'd like, at some point. So it was kind of frustrating. What I realized is that even with AI right now, and talking to experts like Sabrow and some of the other folks we work with, I think we're quite a bit away, if ever, where AI is going to be able to gather enough meaningful data to actually do the valuation, right? But we've got the visualization piece. We can introduce people ultimately to contractors, but then there's a step prior to that where getting a quick, easy estimate that has some level of accuracy as to what those costs are going to be is a really important part of the planning process, right? So this was the missing piece. So what we did is we partnered with a company. Verisk is the parent company. They have a division called Exactware. And Exactware has, I believe it's 40 plus years now, it's been the standard of the industry for professional remodelers and folks who come in and do disaster restoration, right? Where there's a fire, there's a flood, there's been some damage to the home. And both the contractors and the insurance adjusters use this data and this platform, which is a much more expensive, detailed platform, calculating every nail and 2x4.
Yeah.
And we were able to work with them to tap into the data and said, what if we were able to provide bundled estimates? We have, believe it or not, 1,100 categories built in here. But
Are you able to log in and show us while
yeah,
we're
yeah.
talking about it? Let's go. Let's go.
So
While we're going through, we can show some of the different categories because this this is a cool tool. You've had me play with this before.
yeah, so what we'll do is we'll start an estimate here. I just clicked on this, and I'm just going to go ahead and put my name in here. Let's see if we've got our address. We have to have the state here filled in. I think we've got what we need. And it's now going to move to the next screen. And now it just says what works needs to be done.
So this is where you have the 1,100 categories.
There's 1,100 categories. You'll see it's bundled. Let me just start with something like bath. And then what happens is all these different options come up as the types of baths, the size of the bath, the detail of the bath, all kinds of different details. So I'm just going to take a half bath. We're going to do
Yeah. So this is a bathroom remodel, a half
right.
bath.
So you can see how quick and easy this is. It comes up instantly. And now instead of giving you a whole detailed breakdown, this is giving you a range. Now you can also go in here and you can actually break down. You can do the cost of a bathroom vanity, replacing a tub, a kitchen sink, installing a light fixture. Or you can have these bundled, and you can see here it gives you a low, an average, and a
Yeah,
high.
it's saying 18 square feet. That seems kind of small for a
Yeah,
half
so
bath.
pick the
Let's pick
size.
a number. What would be I mean, if you had a room 5 by, no,
Well,
you want a bigger
you figure with
eight.
a half bath, you,
Yeah,
you
eight
figure
by six maybe.
it's going to be, yeah. So let's go 8 by 6. So
48 square feet.
here, 48. I got my microphone blocking.
Yeah. In case you were wondering, I know you can't do math like that. You only build houses from the ground up for
Okay,
years.
so as soon as you put it in there, right? As soon as you put it in there, it does the recalculation.
Yeah.
Just takes a moment.
See,
Does
that's what's handy too, is getting an idea. Because if you have an oversized powder room or half bath, you can
sure.
get a rough idea. And things that would make a difference if it's a larger powder room, obviously more flooring needs to go in, and
Right.
more paint needs to
Yeah.
go on the
Okay.
walls. Like those are obvious things. Yeah, it's going to have one vanity. It's going to have one toilet. but those things cost more. Show us something else cool.
Yeah, so replace concrete. Here's floor. Replace tile flooring, linoleum, solid wood flooring. We can
Oh
do
yeah,
that.
we did this. We just did
You
this in
do
our
this,
house.
six
We
hundred.
did like trying to think. I
Go
don't
ahead.
know. Put like 1,000 square feet, and
Okay.
let's see what happens.
And it's showing on the low end, you're at about 10,000. Now, here's what's neat. It also gives you some detail here. And I'll
Yeah,
show you real quickly. So you build your estimate this way. Now, keep in mind, this is not designed to just put a total on everything. And again, you
yeah.
can put in the smallest things, paint a deck or tiny little things. So just kind of put your list. It goes very quickly. And once you're familiar with this, it's intuitive. Even the first time, it's easy. Once you get to the point you're done, you click on print project estimate. And let's see if I'm going to see it on the screen here.
Yeah, you may have to pull it up separate because you weren't. This isn't an active
Yeah,
project.
it's another screen. So let's see here.
Yeah,
Uh,
you. So here's the cool thing about this.
I'm going to
So
share another screen, right?
yeah, you could share another screen. So that gives you an idea, a rough estimate of what you've created in. Here, I'll bring that up.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's a cool. There's the 48 square foot bathroom remodel. That's
And
awesome.
so now, here's the address here. Estimate On is the platform that we're utilizing, right? The data platform
Yeah.
that feeds all this. And then our developers put all this together. But how nice is this? This gives you a breakdown. And you can see here what it says. So low grade material. It describes a pedestal, sink, sheet vinyl, flooring, chrome hardware, describes what that means.
Look at
Shows
that 2.5 inch casing, 3.25 inch baseboard. That's very cool to get an idea.
you, because think about, what does it mean? Well, what does high material grade mean?
Yeah.
This will describe to you. It's just, we are just so impressed with the thoroughness. And I just want to finish on the data real quickly. This company has 15,000 residential remodeling projects a month going through its system, right?
Yeah.
They have a whole team of people. There's 400 people who are working behind these platforms, this estimating platform. They interview contractors. They have feeds from manufacturers for material costs. So it is, and it's updated every 30 days and geographically. So it's just, from what we found, it is absolutely the most accurate data you can have for residential remodeling. I'm sure there's some amount of AI behind the scenes involved in
Well,
everything.
yeah, I was just gonna say there's potentially AI behind the scenes, but this isn't as much an AI play.
No,
And maybe at some point in time it will be, but right now it's not. And
right.
that's it. AI is great for the planning and design. We had a bunch of fun there. Now with your tool, with this estimator, we're able to peg some numbers to it. But it's not like once you're done with this, that you can run off and go to Home Depot and start the project. There's still more work that needs to be done. And that's where, again, like we talked about, the residential remodeling specialist can help and help you guide the rest of the process. AI is not going to swing the hammer, not going to install, not going to make sure all the trades are there on time and getting the work done.
Well, I wish AI could do that.
I know, right? That would have saved you some time from
Exactly.
when you were building.
Right.
So, no. So I think we can wrap it up there. Let's see. We have a couple comments here. Mike Michi talking about AI in the loan world. They use it for marketing, property history, help rate pro forma projections for
Mhm.
commercial and multifamily properties. That's cool. That's a cool use of AI. Um, and marketing is definitely a big way we use it as real estate agents now. And you and your business too, as a real estate educator, you use it. You want to share your little use of Chat GPT that you told me, or do you want to keep it top secret?
No, that's okay. We'll keep that top secret. But
All
what I
right.
do like, Chris, what I do like is the way you put it. And you said Chat GPT is like a calculator for words.
Yeah,
Right?
that's it.
We used to do that manually. I think that's such a great description. And what we're learning is, again, a lot of people are afraid of it. I don't think there's anything to be afraid of. It's just another tool that allows us look at how we get data by Googling.
Yeah,
I guess somebody could have been afraid of that. Maybe somebody working in a library and want to help
yeah.
people through the encyclopedia. But these things utilized just give us more power, more efficiency. And to your point, when it comes to the whole remodeling process, so we're excited because the design, what a challenge getting zeroed in on where people want to go. From there, we may work with a contractor that provides design services. We may hire a designer. Okay, we can make that decision. In many cases, it's simple enough for the homeowner to find the contractors, the trade people to go ahead and do the installation, go to their local home improvement store and make that happen. But
Yeah.
this allows them to get it there. The budgeting, of course, with our cost, our estimate, the budgeting, the pricing, and then that's the tool as an agent where you can go ahead and look at how that's going to relate to the improvement in value. People could make good decisions there. Think about how many people we interviewed people. I mean, over the years, in all the stuff we've done in training, remodeling, our partnership with Lowe's Home Improvement for many years, we've interviewed, talked to many people about that process and the challenges. And so these are two big components. And that's where our residential remodeling specialists come in, trained real estate professionals to fill in those other blanks, right? The planning process, introductions to key people, and so on.
Yeah. So I was going to pull that up. Why don't you pull that up? Pull up their website
Okay.
while we're chatting. So I'll put that up on the screen. So I think in summary, and kind of have an action plan from some of what we've shown you today. So this would be, if you're thinking of doing a design project, definitely play with the tool like what we showed you earlier to get some design ideas, fine tune it. Then your estimator, you can use that tool. And it's geared toward um, real estate agents to help guide the process of
Right.
construction. It isn't really geared toward consumers, although theoretically consumers could sign up for that our
Yeah.
estimate. But from there you're gonna have a budget. But here's one tip I'd recommend, and I hope you agree there, Papa Dan. The budget the estimates you come up with, keep those in your back pocket. I wouldn't necessarily trot those out to the contractor and say, hey, these are the exact dollars I expect. Number one, they may vary slightly in your area, but number two, they may come in lower. So you don't want to.
No, you're absolutely right. So it's a planning tool that
Yeah.
helps people with preliminary budgeting. It helps people from the value analysis. But you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
You're going to want to get bids from real contractors. And the things that don't often, it's missed in something that's just adding totals like this is, let's say you've got a contractor there and that contractor is coordinating 5 or 6 major activities. Overall, you can get more work done than if you were just hiring one contractor to come in and do this project in the kitchen, another contractor.
100%.
And I know you went through that with your remodeling. So there's some efficiencies there, and good contractors will pass on those efficiencies to you.
Yeah. And then one more point to dovetail into this, and then we can head out. But the other thing is, you run through this AI tool, you find stuff that you like, and then you use the budget estimator to come up with an estimate. But at the end of the day, should you do any of this, any of these upgrades? And that's again where the residential remodeling specialist comes in. A real estate agent like me, we can come in, we can give you an idea of what the value of your home will be after you do this or do this. If you go with that low end, what happens? If you go with the mid range, if you go with the high end, we're going to give you an idea of where to spend your money, if you should spend your money. And look, at the end of the day, if you're getting ready to sell, you're going to want to do the upgrades that are going to get you the most money, and we're going to help guide that. So if you're getting ready to sell, it doesn't make sense to spend $100,000 if it's only going to get you another 75.
That's right.
That's where the residential remodeling specialist comes in, and we help you figure out what $50,000 can you spend that's going to get you an extra 100. But if you're not looking to sell, that doesn't mean you can't lean on a residential remodeling specialist. We can still come out and give you an idea. And if you're going to stay there, there's no reason you can't spend $50,000 on a kitchen that's only going to get you 35 if you're going to sell. But you're staying there. It's fine. It's okay. If you're going to enjoy that kitchen, it's worth it. Do it.
Right.
But you need to know.
You're going to make an educated decision, right?
Yeah.
And the other parallel I like here is that people you go for checkups to your doctor. You don't necessarily go in because your arm's falling off.
Yeah,
you'll go in and the doctor's going to go ahead and do blood work and say, hey, you can use a little more vitamin D or you're healthy. That's great. Financial planners, people get together with their financial planner periodically and analyze where they're going. Maybe there are no changes to be made at all, but it's kind of a state of the health, right, of that particular arena. Well, when it comes to homeowners, we're encouraging them, reach out to our residential remodeling specialists, let them come in. And when it comes to really understanding the value of your home, most people have figured out that these online calculators can be all over the place, or just
Yeah,
like we can see AI going nuts, right,
yeah.
in these images.
On my in that vein, on my own house, and I should do a video on this, but there is, I want to say, to at least a 10 to 20% variation between the top three:
Wow.
Zillow, Redfin, Realtor.com, in
It's
value.
massive.
And then Realtor.com has, if you scroll down, they have three or four more, and there's
Wow.
even more variation in there. So, and none of those estimates are from people who even seen your house, and that's where the residential remodeling specialist, as
Well,
a real estate agent, is going to give you more accurate
well,
numbers.
that's it. And working with a great agent, and you and I have talked about this. You have your feet on the street. You're out there in the open houses. You're watching the deals come together. You're talking to other agents about their deals and their buyers and trends in the marketplace. So the bottom line value is really about understanding the perceptions of actual buyers in the market today in this neighborhood, right? It can
Yeah,
be different from one side of town to the other. Back to the homeowners and just kind of a checkup kind of a concept is, if people always want to know what their home is worth, but not knowing what strategic improvements could increase the value of your home, you then really don't know the value of
yeah.
your home. If it turns out, right, you could invest $20,000, increase the value of your home another 50 on top of that. I want to know that. That's the real value of my home. And so we believe, I know you believe the same thing, there's going to be a sea change in this industry where real estate professionals have to step up and discuss the condition of the home, strategic improvements, as well as, if you're not thrilled with this home right now, let's look at options for homes, other homes we can find at that wholesale, that less than top of market price, because they need love. And let's see what kind of options they may be, again, using our visualization tool, our estimating tool, and so
Well,
on.
very, very cool.
How exciting
I'm
is that?
excited. You can't tell from the look on my face. No,
I'm
I'm excited.
telling
Hey,
you.
I take it for granted. Like I said in the first video, you and I talk about this stuff all the time. We're always talking about
All
where
the
the
time.
world is headed. I just wanted to put one more comment up. Hi, that's Gigi. Gigi's World of
Oh,
Gigi. Gigi's tuned
Gigi,
in. Gigi's my
you're
youngest
amazing.
daughter and Papa Den's youngest granddaughter. So just want to put
Yeah,
Gigi up there. Thanks for coming out, Gigi. And Gigi actually has a video that had more views than any of my videos. She does these shorts. I don't understand them, but
I don't know how she
they
does
do
it.
well. So she had one that had over 100,000 views. Well, thanks for tuning in. Make sure, if you found this helpful, that you subscribe to this channel. We're going to have more updates like this coming. And make sure you like the video as well. Helps with the algorithm. I have an email newsletter you can subscribe to. And we've shown you Papa Den's info for his company if you're interested. It is real estate agent directed, but consumers, investors, flippers, etc., would benefit from the training. So thanks for tuning in. This has been Dennis Walsh with sellnewhomes.com, and Christian Walsh, real estate agent with Wire Associates, Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. And we want to hear from you. Hey, I got back up there. That was good. Thank you.
Oh, there's